Okay, this is part two of the screencast of the demo. All right, here we go. So this is the central model again. You're going to go in, and let's say you happen to be a vendor, and you've navigated to the central model, the Aponte central model. You're going to somehow, I know we have to do a better job of this, but get you to click this button, sell your product. When you sell your product, we said we're going to put in some type of job aid here that, hold on a second, I have to fix this volume here. This is killing me. All right, anyway, so we're going to put in a video, a job aid. So we're not just going right into registration, but we definitely want vendors to register, and we'll tell them why it's important to do that. They're going to go through their registration. Click the registration button. And again, we said this is a bad place for us to land. As a vendor, landing on a dashboard, it would make no sense for somebody who's new. And just going through the registration process. They're going to probably go to some type of a landing page that'll give them information on what the process is and guide them through the process of getting their products up and available for the marketplace of the resellers slash distributors. Okay, so we're at the dashboard. We're going to come back to that, and also the current clients and the deals. But we're going to go to the product catalog. So if you are a vendor and you've already registered, these would be and you've registered and you've already put in products, you'd have a whole bunch of products in here. But if you're a new vendor, you'd have nothing in here and you'd have to start adding products. And here's the process to do that. You're going to put in your product name. You're going to put in the category that it goes under, the type of product that it's in, and we're going to try to standardize on those categories and types. You're going to put in the brief description that would probably go under the product title, and then an overall description. And then you can do some of your uploads of your of content, right? So you can upload images, add them and remove them, and then put in your social network links. And then you're going to start adding your features, right? And the features, we think at this point will be standardized by the super admin of the Aponte platform. So the features will come down in the drop down menu, and you'll add them. Anyway, that's TBD, but they need to be standardized for sure. So because they're going to be used later on in the technology selection engine and the compare docs and in the marketplace itself. So you can add these features. You're going to put in the parameters, whatever fields they go in. I'm not really sure what that is, honestly. But anyway, this is the spot where you're going to add all of your features, and this obviously needs a bunch of work, and we're gonna work on this as we use the back end. But it's all kind of rules-based system on what the feature descriptions are, who can use those features, and so you're going to put in how you want to display things, and so we need to put in some type of way for you to get a preview of this. And so there's some work to do, front end and back end, on this particular screen. But you can add new rules, and you can continue the process over and over again for the particular product set. So you have the basics in for your basic info, all of your feature descriptions, and who could utilize that and how it's displayed. Okay, so now you're going to go through your deployment and your price books. They put them together. They could be separate, but they happen to be together now. So here's all of your different price book plans. You might have 0 plans because you're just getting started again, but this shows somebody who's already got products in here. But so let's say you're new. Again, you're gonna start adding features, and the features are going to be, price books, and they're going to be mapped to the products that you've already put in the last section, right? So product name, you're going to do a drop down. You're going to be able to pick up one that you just put in. It's Autodesk 3D Max. It was one of those that you added in the product catalog. What type of price book do you want to associate with that? Is it free? Is it recurring? Is it one time? Is it free SaaS, or is it a demo product? Do you want to use deployment or not use deployment? When we say use deployment, we mean if it's not a SaaS-based or it's not a shrink-wrapped product, you're going to need some infrastructure to go along with that. And when you do that, you're gonna specify as the vendor, do you want to use your own servers as the vendor? Do you want to use the servers? Do you want the customer to use the servers of Aponte? Do you want the buyer to be able to utilize their own servers? Again, this is all rules-based. Do you want the reseller to be able to utilize their own servers? All right. So the old question is use your own servers or use servers downstream, right? Because you might want to specify, hey, you can only use mine. Or now you say, well, you can use anything that's available downstream, Aponte's, the buyers, or the resellers. Okay. Now you're going to start putting in the rules for pricing, and these are rules that will go to the reseller where you're setting downstream rules. So you're going to select the term, right? It's a monthly, it's a weekly, it's a daily, it's forever, it's a one-time, and so now you're going to put in your price. Maybe it's a one-time license. It just happens to be here. When you're going to select this, it's going to auto-populate what it is, and it's going to put it in here. Maybe it's $10 a month, $100 a month. You can add additional features at this point. And then you can say how many licenses get a discount. This is for the discount, volume discount. And again, nothing that describes this is for a volume discount, but it's what it is. So it's from 1 to 50. It's X. You're going to add a new rule from 2 to, from 51 to 100. It's Y, right? So again, it gives you lots of space to put in rules about your pricing. Let's see what else. Anything else here? No. Okay. Now you're going to move on to your cloud deployment, and you might want to choose AWS and Rackspace that you've integrated with in any way. Maybe it's yours, maybe you're doing it through Aponte, but it all gets done through a company called Cloud 66 that uses containers by Docker, and so that is a way of doing a virtualized instance of server formations, right? Instances, they call it, right? So that allows you to do configurations and put in infrastructure as a service, software as a service, in time-based or volume-based instances, right? So you may want to have a specific amount of capacity over a specific amount of time. You can build it up and tear it down whenever you want. So this allows you to mix and match whatever you want. If you're a vendor, you're going to come in and maybe you want to support all of them. Here you go. You support all of them. You click it, and everybody downstream is happy as clams because they get to choose from all of these when they want to do deployments or they want to repackage this for themselves. You move on to the next. And the service will auto-populate, and it'll give you information as well as the data sources, which is just, maybe what the CPU is, how many servers there are, where they're located, and information like that. Now you're going to go into your reseller management, and again, you're doing this new, so you're not going to have any. But if you did have resellers, and there should be an add button here, right? So you can add resellers to the mix. And if you were able to add resellers, it would go to the same or a similar interface that showed all of the resellers and gave you all of the information, and then you can reach out to them through the platform, and then you can do business with those resellers. There was a question when we first did this and didn't record it, and we wanted to know how it would work, whether the reseller would have to get a contract with every individual vendor. So again, one of the big things that I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be aggregating all of the actual vendors for a one-pipe model in. So if you have a contract with Aponte, then you have access to as many vendors as you want, and we're going to charge that similar transaction fee, maybe a little more to cover the additional cost and risk of doing that aggregation. But that's kind of part of the service model. Or you can have your own vendors, and you can utilize those vendors to sell downstream. That's if you're a reseller. Okay. Here's when you manage all your employees. and you can give them their specific what they can and they can't do in the platform. You can do that, administrate that separately, um, and so you can add them. And I think when you add them is when you give them their rules, but I don't think we have it up here yet. Okay, so you're gonna add. No, it doesn't work. All right, but it does give you who it is. So if you click on this, you can edit from here. Not a big deal. All right, but anyway, you can put in the user roles, and there should be a spot when you double click on this and hit edit. You can do user roles, and when you add, you're going to add somebody, and you'll be able to put in their user roles as well. We need to add that later on. Here's a ticket system. This ticket system rolls up everything from discussions, questions, problems, regular tickets, and rolls up all the way from the buyer to the reseller to the vendor, logs everything, timestamps everything, and allows you to sort it and bring that up in all sorts of reporting infrastructure. And it's available. This will be available either through the UI here or through an API. All right. So this is remember, this is going to be a specific person's interface. So there are 32 ticket messages, and maybe this is from James to somebody else who was logged into the system, or it could be the general admin, and they could see everything, right? So you can close tickets here, you can see tickets here, you can message from here, write your message, right? I think that's it from here. Anyway, you're able to see your pending and your closed tickets as well. Here again, as a vendor, you'll be able to see what's been reviewed, and maybe you want to sort them by bad to good, and you should be able to reply to them from here, but we haven't done that. But that was a good idea that was brought up later on. What's the messaging? And so the question is, can the vendor reply directly to the reseller, directly to the customer? We originally said no. I think we're going to keep that as a no, because it's really up to the reseller to make the sale and respond to particular issues. But maybe we can make that rules based as well. Again, I don't want to complicate the platform any more than it is. It's already ridiculously complicated. Here's all the management transactions. This is everything that is run through the platform that's financially based, right? Is it everything gets stamped with an ID, a product ID number, PIN, and when it happened, who was actually the buyer of the product. I think this is buyer and owner. I think one of these is supposed to be buyer and the other is supposed to be the reseller. So what the product is, what type of transaction it was, whether it was bank, whether it was wire. Was there a service that was attached to it? What department it was associated with? I don't know what that is. And what the price was and what the status is. I don't know what department is. We've never, I don't know. Okay, so now we have everything that happens from a financial perspective, what your balance is within the platform, what your last transactions were, all of your transactions, what type of tariff plan. Again, I'm not sure what that is. Medium tariff plan 50. That looks like a throwaway. Again, these are all widgets that we're going to be putting in and standardizing when we start moving the back end. So the back end hasn't been done for this particular piece, and it'll get fleshed out. And you can see all the analytics on what your financials were and all your transactions for the month, and then you can filter based on different, whether it's a customer or it's a time of month, what the profit was, what your revenue was. And then you can see everything through banks and cards and what those transactions were. And that is that. And then here's the analytics piece that will allow you to see trending reports. Again, all of the deals that have gone through. And then, so this is deals, clients, tickets, agents, vendors. We discussed agents before. Might as well talk about it now. You know what? I'll wait for that. I'll come back to agents when I do the reseller piece. All right. So I think. All right, so let's come back to the dashboard then. So now that you're all signed in, you've done your analytics. Now you're an existing customer, and you've already brought in a whole bunch of resellers, and you're selling stuff. You're going to want to see things in the dashboard. So here it is. It's the deals for the month, how much has been earned for the month, when you do resellers. And again, these are all widgets. Trending, again, how many tickets were open, all in one window is what this really is all about, right? All of your reviews, everything you can see separately down here, we're just kind of putting it in one window over here. And again, this is all of your current clients. So these are your resellers. I don't know why it's called clients. We have to work on the naming convention a lot here. And then you can communicate. There happens to be a communication button here, but the other ones don't have a communication button, so lots of work that needs to be done. Filter on it. There should be an add button here, but there's not. And we already went through. These are all of your deals, just in a. Why is there an add button here on the deals? Yeah, so these are deals with your. So this is kind of in the wrong place, to be quite honest, but it's a good window. And it's not really deals. This is if you're going to want to have a relationship, a business relationship with a vendor. And I didn't show this to you before because I didn't click on it, and just because it's in the wrong place. So this is your detail of the buyer, right? This is the product. And then this is who the buyer's information is going to be, and the buyer's information is the reseller. Again, naming conventions are really key here. So is there an NDA? Do you want to communicate with them? Do you want to do a demo? Do you want to send a contract if it's outside of Aponte? Do you need to send an invoice, right? It should be maybe a separate billing. But again, guys, remember this is all 1.0 minimal viable product, and we're going to make a whole bunch of changes, going forward. So it's not perfect by a long shot, but it's not terrible. Here you can create an account with somebody, and the drop-down boxes have to be set up for all of these. Right? Send the NDA, the demo, send the contract, send the info, create the account. And this is the activity stream for this particular reseller. Right? So that is that piece. I'm going to send this, and then I'm going to start on the next piece.